Ladies and gentlemen, now listen to me real close, ladies. I'm about to let you in on a little secret that most women overlook. You see, when it comes to men, real men, we don't need a whole lot to feel good. We don't need gifts, flowers, or some long, drawn-out poem. What we do need, what we crave, is to feel like we matter. We need to feel seen, valued, respected, and guess what? That all starts with a simple text. Yeah, that little device you're holding in your hand can unlock something deep in a man if you use it right. A man's ego is not just a thing, it's his engine. It's what gets him up in the morning. It's what pushes him through his struggles. And when a woman knows how to boost that ego the right way, not fake flattery, not manipulation, but real, authentic acknowledgement, oh baby, he's coming for you fast. Now let me break this down. A man wants to feel like the man. We're built that way. It's in our DNA. We want to conquer, provide, protect, and lead. But here's the part nobody talks about. We don't always feel like we're winning. We doubt ourselves. We wonder if we're enough. We're out here fighting silent battles, trying to keep it together, and most folks don't even notice. But when a woman sends that one text, the right text that says, I see you, it hits different. Picture this. He's had a long day. Maybe he just finished a 10-hour shift. Maybe he's been grinding on a business idea that ain't paying off yet. Maybe he's dealing with pressure from every angle, and in the middle of all that, ding, he gets a text from you. It says, I love how hard you work. That kind of focus is sexy. Now, what you think that man's going to do? Smile? Oh, yeah. But it's more than that. You just recharged him. You just reminded him that what he's doing matters. That somebody sees the grind, that somebody sees him. Men ain't used to that. You hear me? We ain't used to being complimented. A woman can go online and get 100 likes just for posting a picture of her coffee. A man, he might post his new promotion, his fitness transformation, his whole life turning around, and get 3 claps and a thumbs up from his cousin. That's it. So when you, a woman he cares about or is attracted to, recognize his effort, it hits like a shot of adrenaline. That kind of message stays in a man's mind. He'll replay it, he'll open it again days later, because it fuels something inside of him. Now let me be clear. I ain't talking about gassing a man up just to get something out of him. This ain't about manipulation. This is about genuine recognition. If he's grinding, trying, and showing up for life, say something. It doesn't take much. You could say, you're the kind of man who doesn't give up. That's rare. Or, I admire how focused you are. Makes you even more attractive. See what I did there? It's not begging, it's not cheesy, it's classy, confident, feminine, and powerful. A woman who knows how to do this stands out. Why? Because most people are out here just taking, demanding, expect. Why didn't you text me back? You forgot this. Why didn't you call me last night? But you flipped the script. You gave him credit. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you memorable. And let me tell you something else. When a man feels admired, not judged, not nagged, but admired, he steps up. You hear me? He levels up. You ain't got to beg a man who feels appreciated. He'll want to do more. He'll want to give more. He'll look at you like you're his piece. And that, my friend, is a position of power. Not control, but influence. You become the voice he wants to hear after a long day, the text he checks in the morning, the woman he keeps thinking about when life gets noisy. Why? Because you speak to something deeper than looks or attention. You speak to his spirit. You remind him that he's not just a provider, not just a paycheck, not just somebody doing stuff for other people, but a man worth recognizing, worth respecting, and worth loving. So next time you pick up that phone, think about the kind of message you're sending. Is it one that fills his cup or drains it? Is it one that makes him feel challenged or cherished? Because I promise you, if you learn how to speak to a man's mission, not just his mistakes, how to lift him up instead of break him down, he won't be able to get enough of you. That's real talk. Let me tell you something that's going to change the way you text a man forever. Stop telling him everything. Yeah, I said it. Stop unloading every little detail of your day in that phone. You want a man to stay interested? You want him to lean in, to chase, to wonder about you? Then you got to learn the art of mystery. That's right. Mystery is powerful, it's magnetic, and it's one of the most underrated tools a woman can use when she's texting a man. See, men are hunters by nature. We're wired to pursue, to chase, to figure stuff out. It's in our DNA. And when something or someone becomes too predictable, too easy, too accessible, we start to lose that edge. We start to feel like I already know what's coming next. And once a man feels like he's got it all figured out, he starts looking elsewhere for a challenge. But when a woman knows how to sprinkle just a little mystery into a conversation, he's hooked. She becomes the puzzle he wants to solve. Now, I know what some of y'all are thinking. But Steve, I just want to be honest and open. Baby, I hear you. And I ain't telling you to lie or play games. I'm telling you to pace yourself. Stop giving away the whole movie in the trailer. Keep a little for later. Keep them guessing. Let me give you an example. You had a crazy day, right? Instead of texting him, oh, I had such a stressful day. I had 5 meetings. My boss got on my nerves. Then I got stuck in traffic for 2 hours. No. That's too much. That's a wall of text. You know what you send instead? Try this. Today was interesting. I'll tell you about it when I see you. Boom, right there. What you just did was give him a taste, a teaser. You sparked his curiosity. Now he's thinking, what happened today? Why is she being low-key about it? I wonder what she's going to say when we talk. You just made him look forward to the next conversation. That's power. That's the hook. Mystery makes a man lean in. You ever notice how some people just got that vibe? You can't quite figure them out, but you want to? That's the vibe you want to give off. And you don't do it by being cold or distant, no. You do it by being intentional, by choosing your words, by knowing when to speak and when to pause. You let him come to you. You give him just enough to keep him wanting more. Now, don't get it twisted. I ain't saying you got to be quiet all the time or keep secrets. I'm saying don't be an open book on page 1, especially early on. A man should feel like there's layers to you, that just when he thinks he's got you all figured out, boom, there's more. That kind of energy, it's addictive. Let's say you're texting and he asks, so what are you up to? Don't just say nothing, just watching Netflix. Come on now, you could do better than that. Let's just say tonight's vibe is candles, wine, and something mysterious on screen. Now what? You didn't lie, you didn't overshare, but you just painted a picture. He's over there wondering what you're watching, how you're feeling, what you're thinking. You just took a basic moment and made it intriguing. Mystery keeps the attraction alive. It keeps the conversation open. When you give a man everything up front, your whole day, every emotion, every thought, you take away the space for him to pursue. And let me tell you something. When a man stops pursuing, things start to fade. He needs to feel like there's still something to discover about you. That's what keeps the energy alive. So if you're one of those women who feels like if I don't tell him everything, he won't feel connected, let me flip that mindset. Connection isn't about dumping information. It's about engagement. It's about the little back and forth that spark curiosity and emotion, the texts that make him smile, think, wonder. That's what makes a man keep coming back. You want to be unforgettable? Mysterious women stay on a man's mind. He'll be out with his boys and suddenly think, man, I wonder what she meant by that text earlier. Or he'll be lying in bed replaying your messages like they're a soundtrack. That's how you create presence, even when you're not around. Let him work for the story. Let him earn the details. Let him take you to dinner to find out what happened on that interesting day. That's how you raise your value. That's how you become worth the effort. Because you don't give everything away for free. You got something special? Then treat it like it's special. Your time, your energy, your thoughts. Don't just hand them out like samples at a grocery store. Make him step up to receive them. Make him want to know more about you day after day. That's not playing hard to get, it's knowing your worth. And trust me, any man who's worth your time, he won't be turned off by a little mystery. He'll be drawn to it. He'll respect it. Because deep down, every real man wants a woman who's not only beautiful, smart, and kind, but intriguing. The one who stays on his mind even when the phone's silent. Let's get real about something, ladies. Texting a man is not a business transaction. It's not a job interview. It's not a to-do list. If you want a man to feel something when he sees your name pop up on his phone, you gotta stop texting like you're filing a report and start texting like you're flirting. Playful, light, fun. That's the vibe. That's the energy that grabs a man's attention and keeps it. Let me break it down for you. Men don't fall in love through long essays or overanalyzing texts. Nah, we fall for how you make us feel. And if your texts feel like homework, he ain't gonna be excited to open them. But if they feel like a game, like a challenge, like a good time, you just became the highlight of his day. Now, I ain't saying you gotta be goofy or silly. I'm saying flirtation is an art and it works wonders. And when you know how to tease a man with your words, just a little playfulness, a little spice, you become the woman he can't wait to talk to. Let's say it's the middle of the day and you just thought about him. Most women might text, "Hope your day is going well." That's sweet, but it's dry. It doesn't make him feel anything. Now take that same thought and add a little flavor. Just a heads up, if you were here right now, I'd totally be distracting you from work. Boom, that's playful. That's flirtatious. That's gonna make him grin like a fool at his desk. That's the kind of message he remembers. See, when you flirt through text, you give him something to respond to emotionally. You create a vibe, a spark. It's not about being dirty or inappropriate. It's about being witty, charming, a little bold. Men love that because most women text like they're filling out a calendar. You're giving energy. You're turning the phone into a playground. Let me give you another example. Instead of texting, "What are you doing tonight?" which sounds kind of routine, say, "If I showed up at your place with pizza and a movie, would you let me in or pretend you weren't home?" Now he's laughing, now he's thinking, now he's engaged. You gave him something to play off of. You opened the door to banter. That's the golden word, banter. Men love banter. We live for it. We love a woman who can go back and forth with us, who keeps us on our toes, who can joke, tease, flirt, and still keep it classy. That's the dream right there because it makes the conversation dynamic. And when you make texting fun, he'll text you all day. You ain't got to ask, you ain't got to chase, it just flows. Now, here's where most women mess up. They get too serious too fast. Everything's about where is this going and what are we doing? Now, don't get me wrong, those are important questions, but if you're bringing that heavy energy into every single conversation, it drains the joy out of it. You got to give that man light. Give him laughter. Give him a reason to look forward to your text, not brace for him. Another thing, don't be afraid to throw in a little challenge. Men are competitive. A flirty challenge makes us want to win. Try something like, "Bet I could beat you at trivia." Don't make me prove it. You just invited him into a game. And the moment it feels like a game, the moment it becomes fun, he's all in. And look, timing matters too. Late night, that's when the vibe can shift. That's when you can drop something a little more flirty. Not too much, just enough to make him raise an eyebrow. Like, "Can't sleep? Probably because I'm thinking about trouble." You ain't got to say more than that. A man will fill in the blanks with his imagination, and trust me, he'll be wide awake now. What you're doing here is creating attraction, emotional attraction, playful attraction. And that's stronger than just physical looks. A beautiful woman might catch his eye, but a playful, flirty woman, she catches his mind. She becomes the one he can't stop texting, thinking, laughing about. That's how you stand out. Here's what you need to remember. Your phone is not just a communication tool, it's a connection tool. Use it to connect emotionally. Use it to spark joy. Use it to bring that feminine charm that men go crazy for. That lighthearted teasing, that confident playfulness, that clever sass. It's irresistible when done right. So the next time you want to text him, don't just ask him how his day was. Make him feel something. Make him laugh. Make him think. Make him wonder what you're going to say next. Be the kind of woman who makes texting feel like an experience, not a chore. Because when you do that, girl, you won't have to chase him. He'll be checking his phone every 5 minutes, hoping to hear from you. Now, let me tell you something that might seem a little different from what you expect. You see, most women think that to get a man's attention, they have to be constantly asking for things, wanting more, demanding this or that. But here's the truth. One of the most powerful things you can do in texting a man is showing appreciation. That's right, appreciation. It's a simple, underrated move that will have him coming back to you every single time. See, when a man is out there working hard, trying to make things happen, whether it's in his career, in a relationship, or just in his life, he doesn't always get the recognition he deserves. The world's always asking him to do more, be more, achieve more. But very rarely does anyone stop and say, I see you, I appreciate you. That kind of acknowledgement, it doesn't just make him feel good, it makes him feel like he matters. It validates him, it builds his confidence, and trust me, a man who feels valued will go to the ends of the earth to keep that feeling alive. Now, I know what you're thinking, Steve, why should I appreciate him? Isn't he supposed to be the one showing appreciation? And yeah, that's true. But let me break it down for you. When you're the one showing appreciation, when you're the one sending that text that says, thank you for being so consistent, I really admire that. You're doing something special. You're giving him a sense of purpose. You're showing him that you notice the effort he puts in, the sacrifices he makes, the little things that most people overlook. Here's what you need to understand. Men are not great at asking for praise. We don't ask for compliments like women do. Most of us aren't sitting around waiting for someone to tell us how awesome we are. But that doesn't mean we don't need to hear it. It's like that old saying, the strong man doesn't show his weakness. We might not ask for it, but we crave it. So when a woman steps up and says, I see you, and I appreciate what you do, it hits us on a deep level. Let me give you an example. Let's say he's been working hard, staying late at the office, putting in the hours. You know what you do? You send him a simple text that says, I admire how committed you are to your work. It's one of the things that make you so attractive. That's it. Short, sweet, and to the point. But you just gave him a gift. You just validated his hard work. And that right there, that makes him feel like a king. Now, don't get it twisted. This isn't about flattery for the sake of flattery. You don't want to send fake, over-the-top compliment. Men can smell that from a mile away. This is about real, genuine appreciation. It's about noticing the effort, the consistency, the little things that he does that might not get the credit they deserve. Maybe he's been picking up your favorite takeout when he's had a long day. Or maybe he's always checking in on you to see how you're doing. When you take a moment to send a text and say, I love how you always take care of the little things, you're letting him know that you notice and that it matters. Here's why this works so well. Men tend to get into a routine. We get caught up in the grind of life, doing what we do to keep everything moving forward. And when you're always the one giving and not receiving that recognition, you start to wonder if it even matters. But when a woman says, I see you, I appreciate you, It reignites a sense of pride. It's like you're the